The dreaded fractions. Students, you can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. Okay, now that you have the encouragement, let's take a peek at these 5 fractions. These are what we all call unit fractions. Now, these are the nice fractions. Now, later in the year, you're going to learn a method on how you can take fractions that don't just have a 1 as the numerator and figure out what it is as a percent and as a decimal. But for right now, we're just going to look at unit fractions. I'm going to show you 2 ways. One way is the way that you should kind of know right now, and then the other way is the way that you're going to be learning. So if you had a hard time with this, you can kind of have a pre-teaching lesson on what is going to come. So the first thing that we can see is we can compare all of the denominators: 3, 10, 100, 8, and 5. Imagine this was a pizza. That denominator says how many pieces there are. The bigger the number, the smaller the piece. A lot of kids think, if the number's 100, wow, that's a huge number. Well, actually it means that it's a small fraction. So when we look at these numbers, the number with the denominator that's the largest, if all of the numerators are 1, the denominator with the largest number is actually the smallest fraction. So in this case, we know that 1/100th is the smallest. I'm going to put an S for smallest. What's our next largest denominator? That will be the next smallest denominator. We have 3, 10, 8, and 5. Well, 10, 1/10th is the next smallest, followed by 1/8, 1/5, and then 1/3. So 1/3 is actually the biggest fraction in these problems. Now, it's all by comparing the denominators because all of the numerators were the same, and I'm going to actually cross those off because we found those as well. Now below, I'm going to write what the percentage and the decimal is. The percentage is 1%, or 0.01. 1/10, 10%, so 10 times as big, or 0.1. You could also say 0.10, that's the same thing. 1/8, kind of a tricky one, 12.5%, or 0.125. 1/5 is 20%, or 0.2, and 1/3, 33.3 repeated percent, or 0.33 repeated. That is actually the same thing as saying 0.3 repeated. The line over top just means that that number keeps going on and on forever. I hope that helped. Thanks so much.